Welcome back. Now, the heat is gradually coming up ahead of the 2023 general elections. Currently, the major issue dominating the political space as it concerns the forthcoming election is the issue of zoning between the South and North, especially in the country's two major political parties. That's the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Although some individuals have started indicating their interests or intentions, rather, it now remains for political parties to either respect or ditch the zoning arrangements as stipulated in their respective party constitutions. There's been this cry for the presidency to move to the South, and the South is specifically for equity and fairness sake. Already, the People's Democratic Party, on the one hand, has zoned the position of its national chairman to the South. It is, however, yet to make any comment on what region the presidency will be zoned to. The ruling APC, on the other hand, is yet to make any concrete pronouncements. But joining us now to look at some of these issues is Ebola Martins, the national coordinator of the Buhari Oshibajo Mandate Group in 2019. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Mr. Martins. Now, let's start with your own take on this ongoing debate about zoning. Do you think that, as some people have said, it's unconstitutional and what the country needs now is competent, someone that can address the country's current challenges? What's your take?
Well, first, let me say thank you for having me. And in respect to your question, I think what we should be asking right now is, what do we need as a country? What do we need now at this time of our lives? This is one of the most important things that we should ask ourselves. And what we actually need is unity. That's what we need. And we should also don't forget that the issue of somebody saying zoning is not constitutional. I don't think we should even talk about this in the first place. Because why do we have federal character if zoning is not constitutional in the first place? Why? Federal character is just to allow Nigerians, irrespective of where you are, to have a sense of belonging in the government. So if we have federal character, and when it now comes to presidency, you are now saying it's not constitutional. Anyway, I'm not even arguing about that, either constitutional or not. The most important thing is the right thing for us to do. And what is the right thing? In 1999, we had a president who came from the Southwest, President Olusegun Obasanjo. He has his vice president from the North. Now, after him, Yar'Adua came from the North, his vice president from South-South. After that, the president came from South-South and the vice president from the North. Now, after that, it goes also back to the North, where we have the current president, who is also from the North. The vice president also goes to the Southwest. What is the crime of Southeast? This is what I want anybody who is just arguing because of their own interest to tell me, what is the crime of the Southeasterner? If we can, for God's sake, because of one man, late, Moshood Abiola, supported two candidates from Southeast. The two major political parties at that time brought in Obasanjo and Falai, just for the Yoruba nation to have, to have that sense of belonging that, look, they are part of this country. So we all left, the North, the East, the South, everybody voted for these two candidates. And we have option of voting for either Yoruba. At that time, we know it's either way it's going to be a Yoruba man. If we can do that because of one man, can't we do that because of the over 40 million Southeasterner? Just for them to have sense of belonging. You and I were in this country, we know what is happening now. Every Monday in the East, no work. Why? Because these people, they sit at home, they feel they are being marginalized. And to be fair to them, with what I've just told you now, are they not marginalized? Let us ask ourselves the fact of the matter.
Sorry to cut you here now. You speak about marginalization. Let's bring into this picture now some states in the Middle Belt, for instance. Now we talk about states like Benue, Taraba, Kogi, and so on. Now, is it not fair to also consider these people too when you say that they can also come out and complain of being marginalized? So should we also not be fair to these people as well?
No, I can answer you from the inception, from our independence. We have always had the North, Southeast, and Southwest. This has always been it. This has always been it, as you are aware. before now, even if you know if the North want to see, they'll have Northern meeting. It is just of recent that you see the South governors coming together. It has always been Southeast on their own, Southwest on their own. We recognize this region and we work with them. At least after all, when we're even running regional government, don't we have a Southeastern region, Southwest region, and Northern region? That's how it has always been. So let us understand that. But what I'm saying is that, and even if you look at those who have run this country and look at where they came from, they all speak the same language. They all have almost the same culture. Southwest and Southeast don't have the same culture. They don't speak the same language. They are two different people. But I just think that for the fact that we're all Southern people, if it has to come to South, if it's going to the North, you can do that argument. No problem about that. Now it's coming to the South. That's what I'm saying. We are saying zoning to the South. If the zone comes to, if it comes to the North, let us not argue about that with the Northerners can then argue about that with themselves. That okay, this region and that. But now it's coming to the South. I, as a Yoruba, I'm not an Igbo man. I'm a complete Yoruba man. A prince for that matter. If you know my village, I'm from Ayeka. I'm a prince in Ayeka land. An Oba to be. So it's not just that I'm just speaking because I'm an Igbo man. I'm not an Igbo man. I just feel that there should be justice and fair play. We should have, if we are not just, we cannot have peace. This is what I'm saying. That if it has to come back to the South as we have all asking for, then we should be clear about it. South should mean Southeast. So that all the three regions in the South would have been satisfied that, look, they have sense of belonging in this country.
I quite agree with you that it's important to carry every region along. I mean, it's only fair for the purpose of national unity and all of that. Yes, I quite agree with you. But we know that there are many politicians who nurse the ambition of becoming president. But as we speak, apart from maybe Sam Oabunwa, the president of the Presidential Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, no other individual from the Southeast has actually come out to announce their intention to run for presidency. Now, recently we saw Orji Uzokalu say that he doesn't want to be president, but if people want him, he will not resist or he will not reject. You see, statements like that. When you consider all of these, how are people supposed to take you serious? And we know how politics is in this country. It's a game of numbers. You have to convince everybody. So if this is 2021, ahead of 2023, if you're interested, you should already have started establishing your presence. I mean, like we always say, power doesn't come a la carte.
Well, I think I can answer that. I mean, the truth of the matter is not about whether power doesn't come like that. The issue is, what do we need as a country? This is what is very important. Do we need to have a president that one part of the country we feel they are not part of the country? Or we should not have a president that will serve the purpose of everybody in the country? This is what I'm saying. And for us to have that, we must have justice. In Southeast, we have a lot of people. We have Pascal, I don't even know him, the founder of Diamond Bank and all that. This is a man who has done business all his life, not that he took money from government to develop a business. We have Rocha Sokorocha also, who has, developed business even before he got involved in politics, who has, given scholarship to over 25,000 Nigerians, irrespective of whether you are from the north, south, east, or southwest. We have people who can do better. We have people who can be sellable to southwest, southeast, and even the north. So this is what I'm saying.
If they've not come out to say they want to they want to run for presidency, you can't force them.
Because right now, the INEC has not said anybody should start campaigning, so they can't come out right now.
But you'll agree with me that this is 2021 and it's not too early.
Yeah, we see the point is, how many people in Southwest, when they give it to Obasanjo and Falaye, really fought like you are trying to ask me? We were given at that time because we felt we have been done a lot of injustice, just like those in the Southeast now felt the same way. So, and this is what I'm saying, that it's not about my party, APC. It's not about my party. Even the PDP. Let me tell you this, without missing word. Any party that did not zone their presidency to the Southeast doesn't love this country. That means they're doing it for a personal, just personal thing. Because if you want this country to have peace, if you want all this trouble to stop, every part of the country must have sense of belonging. And that is what God has given us now, come 2023, for us to be able to have leaders, president, who the North will feel okay, they are okay, the South will feel okay with them. This is what we should do. If you take the presidency, again, to my people, I will be happy to have that. But that will not be good for this country. It will be a good thing for me to say Yoruba man is the president of Nigeria. Yes, I will love that. But will that be good for Nigeria? Would that be good for our unity? Would that be good for our stability? That is the question we should ask ourselves. This is just my point. So for us to have stability, for us to have peace in this country, we need to give that sense of belonging to everybody in every part of this country. And Southeast is one. Because Yoruba, we have had a test of presidency. The South has had a test of it. So if it's still coming back to the South, why can't we, without question asked, give it to the Southeast? Do we have to return it to Southwest? Do we have to return it to South-South? This is the question all of us should ask ourselves. And this is what I'm saying. We have to be just too. It doesn't matter where you come from. I don't have any family in the East. But the truth about it is that if there is unrest in this country, it will affect me. Maybe I can just tell you a little. I have an investment in a small country called Slovenia in Europe. Slovenia is about 2 million population. But I can tell you, everybody in that country has sense of belonging in that country. They don't have resources like we do, but they are doing better than we do.
So for you, sorry to interrupt you now. For you, is it just about the political parties now making a statement that every region should be carried along by picking a Southeast candidate as their flag bearer? Or is it, what matters? Is it about winning the election and actually becoming a president? Because that's, of course, the most important and the end goal of all of these debates that we're having.
Okay, I think number one, for justice, for unity, all the parties have to zone their candidate to Southeast. For unity, for justice, and for fair play. This is just what it is. If you zone it to any other part, then you are sending wrong signal to one region that you are there, you are just a voter, you cannot be voted for. This is not good for us. So this is what we all should look at, not for selfish interest, but for the interest of all Nigerians. This is number one. Number two, I believe that that we have issue of unemployment, no electricity, not that in the country. We have people in Southeast in terms of, development that they can help to develop this country. You and I know that from independence and from when we started this our democracy issue, we have Nigerian Airways, who today has collapsed. We have our refinery, who today has collapsed. We have NAFCOM. I'm so bitter about this NAFCOM because I know some years ago, about 30, 25 years ago, the Europeans, the Americans used to come to Nigeria to kill, to have our urea fertilizer. Today, NAFCOM has closed down. NITEL has closed down. Now, why? Because all the leaders we have had in this country are either teacher or general in the Nigerian army. I will start with even from Shagari when he was the civilian president. But let me just talk from this Fourth Republic from 1999. What do we have? Obasanjo was a military man. Before he became head of state or a president, he never had any investment anywhere. Check it and you'll find it to be true. After him, who do you have? You also have who? Jonathan. You also have Yaradua, who was a teacher, who also never had any investment, a creation of any business or a business idea before he became president. After him, who else? Again, just check it. Jonathan. Jonathan was a teacher. Before he became president or vice president, he was never in business, never developed any business. He doesn't even know how to turn an NNPC around, not to talk even our refinery of Nigeria or Nigerian Airways. When he left him, where did he go again? To the north, the current president, who is also a general in the army.
It's actually
before he became head of state or president.
It's interesting to hear you say this,
yes,
because you were the national coordinator of the Buhari Oshibajo mandate group in 2019. I mean, yes, you worked hard to see this particular government coming on.
I did. Yes. Yes. And that's why I'm saying that at this time of our lives, we have tried everything that we need to try. We have seen that at this time, since we have tried all the people we need to try, this is now time for us to get people who have this history of business development, who have history of developing something from nothing. For example, Dubai do not have anything. You have Abu Dhabi, is the capital of United Arab Emirates. Dubai is just like a state. Now, they develop from nothing to something because they put people who have this business sense to develop.
I quite understand the point you're trying to make, and
yes.
I totally agree with you that we have competent people in the southeast that can run the affairs of this country. But this is just where we have to leave it. Prince Ebonla Martins, the national coordinator of the Buhari Oshibajo Support Mandate Group in 2019. We thank you very much for joining us on DEJI360. Thank you so much for your time. Well, that's where we wrap it up on this episode of the program. We thank you very much for watching. I am Onyi Adekunle. Bye-bye.